Hello everyone, MJT360 back at you again with another video. Let's try this again. Today, I'm going to be working on this 4-year-old Predator motor that's got, we're going to do an autopsy on it because I blew it up a couple days ago. I just put a brand new Mikuni carburetor and a header pipe, billet flywheel, and that's about it, and governor removal. And, well, let's just say things didn't go as they should have, because I was riding this thing at 42 miles an hour, and then it was down on power, so I went and pulled over and stopped, and the engine died, and now you're not supposed to. I can kind of pull it over, but it's really freaking stiff, so let's see if we can figure out what the problem is. Also, I'll show you actually. If I take the spark plug off, so you might be thinking, oh, it's the spark plug. Or, oh, it's the clutch, or, oh, it's this, or, oh, it's that. Well, to tell you the truth, I already know what's wrong with it. I'm not going to tell you. Guess down in the comments below what you think is wrong with this motor. If you think it's whatever you think is wrong with it. Because it's not the clutch and it's not anything else. But yeah, even if I take the spark plug out, because you might be thinking, oh, it's hydro locked. There's oil on the cylinder, so it should pull over now. Same thing. Still doing it. Still not pulling over easily. So, first things we're gonna do is we're gonna take off the this carburetor adapter. I've got an Allen key here, and I don't know what this Allen key is, so I don't know what size it is, but if you're taking off your carburetor, it's going to be, if you're taking out the stock carburetor, it's going to take two 10mm bolts, or two 10mm nuts. Bolt's about to strip out, so that's why I had to hammer the wrench into the frickin' bolt to hold the bolt in place, so I can unscrew the bolt. Because these are cheap Chinesium bolts, so they're not the best. And then we're just gonna throw these bolts back in to where I put the bolts. I always like to put the bolts back in where I found them. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the side cover off, so everyone can see the beautiful, lovely billet aluminum flywheel. And there's one bolt here, one bolt here, one bolt here, and one bolt here. So there's two down there and two up here. And they're all, I believe they're all 10mm bolts. They're not, they're 8s. ratcheting wrench. There's one. There's two. Ah, crap, I don't want to switch the bolt on. Shit. Crap. Stripping out the bolt. Now don't worry, there's not any gas in this motor, it's just oil, so it's not gonna really make a big deal or an issue. I'm gonna put the spark plug loosely back in the hole, just so I don't get crap down my cylinder head. Because, well, we will be pulling the cylinder head off actually, so I guess it's because I need to check the internal conditions of the motor. I need to check everything, see how everything is working. Make sure that nothing's wrong. Wish I had an 8mm socket, but I don't. So there's all 4 bolts removed. Lower shroud comes off, set that to the side. There's a beautiful built flywheel that I installed, or that Kevin helped. Also, guys, I'd like to let you know this is going to be a collaboration with me and Kevin Bergeron. Go check him out on YouTube. I've done a video with him before. I built that GX, whatever you want to call it, the not the Predator, the Yamaha GT80 build. I did that with Kevin Bergeron. I'm gonna have to get some new bolts because these are all stripped out. But that's why I'm just snugging them down. So now we're not gonna take the coil. We guess we could take the coil off, but we're not gonna take the coil off. Now we're gonna take the gas tank off, which is another couple. Oh, that's wrong. There's one bolt. there's one nut. You got an 8mm bolt in the back and two 10mm nuts up front on studs. Shit. Crap! So there we go, there's the carburetor removed, there's the intake manifold removed. Carburetor intake manifold right there. Now we're going to take off, let's see, what can we get off next? Maybe some of this wiring, Fuck, it's not coming off. Crap. So yeah, this motor is very rusty and crusty and crappy, so it's nothing wants to come undone on it. Don't want to break the terminal, so I'm just going to leave it and say it can't come off. Now we're going to take the coil off. And if you're wondering how to get the coil off, give me a second and I'll show you. It's two 8mm bolts, and then the coil, you run the wires through here. You run the wires through here, through underneath the governor, right out to here, and then they go out through this little tiny clip right here that I bent out. So it goes around here underneath the governor and then goes to here, and that's your kill wire. And what that does is that kills the motor and shuts it off so it won't run. So yeah, now we're going to take this governor linkage off because we don't need it. On the new motor, on the new setup, I don't think we're going to need it. Now if you're wondering, guys, these are all the parts for my Predator motor that I've taken off that I don't want to lose. So they're all in a, if you saw that, I put all the parts I don't want to lose in a bag. Ziploc bag. This is like the carburetor and the governor linkages. Just in case I want to ever put it back to safe, God forbid I want to put it back to stock, I can still, so I won't lose the parts. So now we're going to take the valve cover off, and that's, oh yeah, here's the 2 bolts for the, hold on, give me a second to see how long we're going for. Okay, here are the 2 bolts that hold on the coil. Coil goes here. Now we're going to take off these 4 bolts. Now if you're wondering, this is an overhead valve Hemi. This is a non-Hemi engine because it's got the stamped steel valve cover, not the aluminum one. But if you want to take that off now, there's 1 bolt there, and there. I believe they're all either 8 or 10 mil. They are 8 mils. And they're loose for some reason. Very loose. Very loose. Very loose. That is not good. They're very freaking loose. Now, if you want to speed up the video, like bring the speed of the time lapse. If you want to make that faster, go ahead. The whole video. But if you're a loyal subscriber, you probably won't, and you'll probably watch the entire freaking video of me disassembling a Predator 212. Because I know you guys want to figure out what the hell happened to it, and yeah, my exhaust is very sooty, which means my carburetor is probably running too rich. Because I put the Mikuni on there and I haven't tuned it properly, so what I think I did was I think I killed the engine. I think I killed the connecting rod. That's what I think I did. I think I seized the connecting rod somehow. There's no sludge up here, there's no nothing. Perfectly clean up here, which is exactly what I want to see when I take apart a motor. And it smells like gas. Why? I don't know. It smells like freaking straight gas. So yeah, I bought this motor in like March of 2020. And ever since that, I've loved this engine to death. I've beaten the living daylights out of this thing, and it was still running. So I'm like, I'm gonna put a bigger carburetor on it because I want to get a little bit more speed, and then I blew up the thing. There's no connexy. It still spins, it's just really damn stiff. As you can see, all the rod, I can see the valves moving up and down. I can see all the valves moving up and down, which is a good sign. So now we're going to take off the head, which is 2 bolts there, 2 bolts there, and oh yeah, we need to get rid of this shroud. So let's get off the shroud first. And that little email bolt is rusty as hell, but oh wow, it's loose. Came right off. Now, if I destroy the head gasket, it's fine. I've got a new one coming in the mail anyway. I've got a whole new, actually I've got a flat top. What I'm going to be buying for this motor is a flat top piston and a billet connecting rod and some other goodies for it. Also an 020 extended rod, which means it's going to have flat deck. When I take this off, you'll see it's not all the way sunk in. It's sunk in by about 0.20 thousandths of an inch below the top of the deck, which is not good, which I don't like very much. So I'm going to actually put a longer rod in there to get a little bit more compression. And then also basically, this motor is not going to be for cruising. This is going to be a speed demon when it's done. When it's done, it's going to be a speed freaking demon. So you're going to get a 12mm wrench or 12mm socket on this dealio to get this thing apart. Somewhere, where did I put my... Oh, there it is. Ah! So yeah, now we're going to put the 12mm on instead of the 10. We're going to break these free without breaking them, hopefully. Can't get them off. Yeah, there we go. That's better. There we go. I need a 3/4 inch drive, a 3/4, I believe, inch drive extent. I need a 3/4 drive extension, and I don't have one of those, so we're gonna have to go into the cool parts. I have to go to the cool tools. Trying to pull the head stud, the head bolts off of a Predator 212, use a breaker bar. I'm going to recommend that right now, but so I just used a breaker bar and they came off instantly, or insanely easy. And now I'm going to switch over to the ratchet to cylinder head is removed. Head gasket looks fine. Head gaskets actually might be, the head gasket might actually be savable. But I've got a new one coming in anyway, so. Frick to the other, oh that's there's the other dowel pin. Shit. So now after that, we're going to try and break free this flywheel nut, which I don't know how the hell I'm going to manage to do that, because the thing's on there 165 foot-pounds, and I don't have a freaking any way to hold the crankshaft, except for hold on, give me a second, I will be right back. I present to you, everyone, the Blue Point 3/8 drive air impact. This thing's a beast. I will have to see if I can get it to come undone. If I can't, I'll find a different way. Stuck. Bam, even on low air. That was 50 psi. That was 50 psi and it pulled that nut off. And that was 36 foot-pounds. So yeah. So now we're going to put this back on here. We're going to put the nut on flush. I'm going to find a place to pry and I'm going to whack with a hammer and see if I can pop the flywheel. a dead blow mallet, so you're just gonna have to look this way for a second. So there's the flywheel. I got the flywheel to come off perfectly. I came right off. It wanted to come off, so it came right off. But now you can see there's no flywheel in the motor. So yeah, so now we can try to drain the oil out of this beast. And that's a 10mm wrench to pull that drain plug out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an oil sample as well, but first I'm going to get this governor arm linkage thingy out of my way. So I'm going to take a camera shot of that. That's That's exactly where I found it. Okay, so now that I got that marked, now we can try to pull it off, which it came off very easily because I've already done it before. Now I'm going to use a little bucket here. This is my oil bucket, as you can see it's got oil in it for my snowblower build. I'm going to drain the oil into this peanut butter container. This peanut butter container right here. And that's going to tell me what the oil is going to look like. So we're going to... I'm going to tilt up the back of them. Shit, that was not good. Why does it smell like gas? I was expecting that oil to be a hell of a lot dirtier than it is, because that's my... I was expecting this oil to be a hell of a lot dirtier and to find metal chunks or stuff in it, but I can't find anything. pretty dark. It's pretty dark, but not the worst I've seen. I've seen worse. I have seen worse. Now I don't want to lose this bolt, so I'm gonna. So now I'm going to take the 10, I'm going to, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 10mm bolt, or a 10mm socket, and a thing. I'm going to buzz off that, and that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts holding the side cover on, and then we should be good to go to pull the side cover off. So I'm going to grab a 10mm socket and I'm going to get to that. Fuck. So there we go. I had to use a pipe. That's why I keep that pipe around here. People are like, Michael, why do you hoard so much crap in your garage? Well, the reason is I don't. It's called, I'm an inspirational collector. I don't just collect crap for a reason. I collect it because it's going to be useful one day. Now, these bolts are pretty damn long, so I'm going to buzz them out quickly with this Ryobi electric impact, or ratchet. just use a little bit of pressure to try and... Now the real question is, how the hell am I going to manage to turn over the engine now that I got the, So the side cover's removed, and I can see there's a little bit of... There's a chunk. Yeah, there's some crap in the bottom of the pan, in the bottom of the engine, but that's going to be like that anyway. Now we're gonna just get ready for now we're just gonna keep disassembling by. So yeah, I'm gonna scrape this gasket off, and I'm gonna pause this video and I'm gonna restart it, and there'll be a part 2 coming out where I pull the rod cap off and try and figure out what the frick is going on with this motor. But so here's the inside of the motor. Here's the inside of the motor. See, it's pretty clean on the inside. It's actually not the worst thing I've seen. I've seen much worse before, but yeah, so I'm gonna pause this video and I'll be right back.